Many older men quietly believe that living alone is the reason their health begins to decline. They assume that once the house becomes quiet, the body inevitably follows. But modern research tells a far more hopeful story. The greatest predictor of healthy aging is not whether you share your home with someone else, it is the daily choices you make after you wake up. Scientists studying older adults have consistently found that lifestyle habits often outweigh living arrangements when it comes to maintaining physical strength, protecting the brain, and reducing the risk of chronic disease. This is one of the most empowering discoveries in aging research because it means your future is influenced less by your circumstances and more by your routines. Consider this remarkable statistic. Studies estimate that only about 20 to 30% of how long we live is determined by genetics, while the remaining influence comes from environmental and lifestyle factors such as nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, and social engagement. That means the decisions you make today still have tremendous power, even if you are in your 70s or 80s. Your body continues to respond to healthy habits regardless of your age. Blood vessels can become more flexible. Muscles can grow stronger. The brain can create new connections. The immune system can perform more efficiently when given the right support. Many men who live alone fall into routines that slowly work against them without realizing it. Breakfast becomes optional. Lunch is replaced with packaged snacks. Dinner becomes whatever is easiest to heat in a microwave. Walking outside feels unnecessary because no one is expecting you. Bedtime becomes irregular. Television fills the silence, and weeks begin to blend together. None of these habits seem dangerous on a single day, but together they quietly shape the Bodhiandapos future. Health rarely changes overnight. It changes through thousands of small decisions repeated consistently. The encouraging news is that the opposite is equally true. Small positive habits repeated every day produce powerful changes over time. A 20-minute walk improves circulation and helps regulate blood sugar. Preparing one colorful meal each day provides antioxidants that protect cells from damage. Drinking enough water supports healthy blood flow to every organ, including the brain. Strength exercises performed just 2 or 3 times each week help preserve muscle mass, improve balance, and reduce the risk of falls. These actions may appear ordinary, but inside your body, they trigger extraordinary biological responses. Researchers have repeatedly observed that older adults who maintain structured daily routines often enjoy better cognitive function, stronger immune responses, and greater independence than those with irregular lifestyles. A schedule provides more than organization. It gives the body predictable rhythms that support hormone balance, sleep quality, digestion, and mental clarity. Even something as simple as waking up at the same time each morning can reinforce the Bodhiandapos' natural biological clock. Living alone also offers hidden advantages that many people overlook. You control what enters your kitchen. You decide how active your day will be. You are free to establish routines that match your personal health goals without compromise. Instead of seeing solitude as a limitation, many older adults transform it into an opportunity to focus entirely on their well-being. They prepare healthier meals, spend more time outdoors, develop new hobbies, and create peaceful routines that reduce stress. Perhaps the most important lesson is this: aging is not simply something that happens to you. Aging is a process that responds continuously to your daily environment. Every nutritious meal sends information to your cells. Every walk strengthens your heart. Every good night and sleep supports memory. Every conversation lifts emotional health. Speak. Your body is constantly listening to the choices you make. So if you live alone, never assume you are destined for poorer health. Your address does not determine your future. Your habits do. Every sunrise offers another opportunity to nourish your body, strengthen your mind, and invest in years that can still be filled with energy, purpose, resilience, and independence. One of the biggest surprises researchers have uncovered is that loneliness does far more than affect your mood. It reaches deep into the body, influencing your heart, immune system, brain, hormones, and even the speed at which you age. Many older men believe that feeling lonely is simply an emotional challenge that comes with retirement or living alone. But science now shows that prolonged loneliness behaves almost like a chronic physical illness. It changes the body's chemistry in ways that quietly increase the risk of disease, often long before obvious symptoms appear. Studies have found that older adults who experience persistent loneliness are more likely to develop high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, weakened immune function, depression, and cognitive decline. Some researchers have even suggested that chronic social isolation carries health risks comparable to smoking multiple cigarettes each day. While the exact comparison varies between studies, the message remains remarkably consistent. Loneliness is not just a feeling. It is a biological stressor that affects nearly every major organ system. When the brain perceives prolonged isolation, it activates the body's stress response. Stress hormones such as cortisol remain elevated for longer periods than they should. Normally, cortisol helps us respond to short-term challenges, but when levels stay high day after day, they begin to create problems. Blood pressure rises. Blood sugar becomes more difficult to regulate. Sleep quality declines. Inflammation slowly increases throughout the body. Over months and years, these changes place additional strain on the heart, blood vessels, and brain. Inflammation deserves special attention because it quietly contributes to many age-related diseases. Chronic inflammation has been linked with heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, memory problems, and reduced immune function. Scientists now believe that emotional stress and social isolation can contribute to this inflammatory state. In other words, loneliness is not simply happening in your mind, it can influence the tiny cells circulating through your bloodstream every single day. The brain also changes when meaningful social interaction disappears. Healthy conversations stimulate memory, attention, language, and emotional processing. Every discussion with a friend, neighbor, or family member challenges the brain to recognize facial expressions, recall information, choose words, and interpret emotions. These activities strengthen important neural networks. Without regular interaction, those mental exercises become less frequent, and cognitive function may gradually decline faster than expected. The encouraging part of this story is that reversing loneliness does not require having dozens of friends or attending large social events every week. The quality of relationships matters far more than the quantity. A single, meaningful conversation can have a greater positive impact than spending hours surrounded by strangers. Calling an old friend, joining a walking group, volunteering at a community center, attending a place of worship, or simply speaking regularly with neighbors can provide emotional benefits that extend throughout the body. Researchers have also observed that acts of kindness benefit the person giving them, not just the one receiving them. Helping another person activates brain pathways associated with reward, purpose, and emotional well-being. These positive emotional experiences help reduce stress hormones and support healthier nervous system function. A simple act like mentoring a younger person, checking on another senior, or volunteering for a local organization creates a sense of belonging that protects both mental and physical health. Pets can also play a meaningful role for many older adults. Caring for a dog or cat often encourages regular routines, gentle physical activity, and daily emotional connection. Walking a dog may even create opportunities to meet neighbors and begin conversations that otherwise might never happen. These seemingly small interactions accumulate into stronger social networks over time. Technology, when used wisely, has also become a valuable tool for reducing isolation. Video calls allow grandparents to watch grandchildren grow. Online classes introduce new hobbies. Virtual support groups connect people facing similar life experiences. Although digital communication cannot completely replace face-to-face interaction, it can bridge distances and maintain important relationships when travel becomes difficult. Perhaps the greatest misconception is believing that loneliness is permanent. Human connection is not reserved for youth. New friendships are formed every day in senior centers, fitness classes, volunteer programs, libraries, community gardens, and neighborhood gatherings. The brain remains capable of forming new emotional bonds throughout life, and every genuine connection sends a powerful signal to the body that it is safe, supported, valued, and never truly alone. Perhaps the most overlooked factor separating older men who merely survive from those who truly thrive is not wealth, luck, or even perfect health. It is purpose. Researchers have spent decades trying to understand why some people remain energetic, mentally sharp, and emotionally resilient well into their 80s and 90s, while others seem to lose their spark shortly after retirement. Again and again, one pattern appears with remarkable consistency. Men who believe their lives still matter, who feel needed, and who wake each morning with a reason to begin the day tend to experience better physical and mental health than those who feel their meaningful years are behind them. One large body of research has shown that older adults with a strong sense of purpose have a significantly lower risk of premature death compared with those who report having little direction in life. Other studies have linked a greater sense of purpose with lower rates of stroke, heart disease, depression, disability, and even Alzheimer's disease. While purpose is not a medicine you can purchase at a pharmacy, it produces measurable biological effects throughout the body. Think about what happens when someone retires after working for 40 or 50 years. For decades, there was a schedule, there were responsibilities, people depended on them. They solved problems, made decisions, and contributed something valuable every day. Then suddenly, the alarm clock is no longer necessary. The calendar becomes empty. The phone rings less often. Without realizing it, many men begin asking themselves a dangerous question: what am I useful for now? That question is more powerful than most people imagine. The human brain is designed to pursue goals. Every meaningful objective activates networks responsible for motivation, learning, memory, and emotional well-being. When people lose their sense of purpose, those systems become less active. Days begin to feel repetitive. Physical activity often decreases. Meals become less nutritious because cooking no longer feels worthwhile. Social interaction fades. Sleep patterns become irregular. Slowly, one unhealthy habit encourages another until the body begins reflecting the absence of purpose. Scientists studying healthy aging have found that purpose influences stress hormones as well. Individuals who feel engaged in meaningful activities often experience healthier cortisol rhythms throughout the day. Lower chronic stress means less inflammation, healthier blood vessels, stronger immune responses, and better protection for the brain. In other words, purpose is not simply a positive emotion. It becomes part of the biology of healthy aging. Many people mistakenly believe purpose must involve a career or earning money. Nothing could be further from the truth. Some of the healthiest older adults devote themselves to entirely different pursuits. One man teaches grandchildren how to repair bicycles. Another tends a vegetable garden that supplies neighbors with fresh produce. Someone else volunteers at a local library, mentors young entrepreneurs, sings in a community choir, or helps organize charity events. These activities may seem simple, but they provide something essential, a reason to keep learning, moving, connecting, and contributing. Purpose also encourages the brain to remain adaptable. Learning a musical instrument, studying a new language, mastering woodworking, painting, photography, or even learning to use modern technology stimulates the formation of new neural connections. Scientists refer to this ability as neuroplasticity, the brain's lifelong capacity to reorganize and strengthen itself through experience. Age may slow this process, but it never completely stops. Every new skill challenges the brain in ways that help preserve memory, attention, and problem-solving abilities. There is another surprising benefit. Having something meaningful to look forward to each day often improves physical health almost automatically. A man who volunteers every Tuesday is more likely to get dressed, leave the house, walk, and interact with others. A grandfather planning a family gathering may pay closer attention to his nutrition and fitness because he wants the energy to enjoy those moments. A gardener wakes early to care for plants, exposing himself to sunlight that supports healthy sleep cycles and vitamin D production. Purpose quietly influences dozens of healthy behaviors without requiring enormous willpower. It is also important to understand that purpose can evolve. The mission that guided you at 40 does not have to be the same mission that inspires you at 75%. Every stage of life offers opportunities to contribute wisdom, compassion, experience, and encouragement that younger generations simply cannot provide. Years lived are not merely years past. They are years of knowledge accumulated. Many of the happiest older men are not those with the fewest problems. They are the ones who continue believing they still have something valuable to give. Every conversation where you encourage another person, every lesson you pass on, every act of kindness, every project you complete, and every goal you pursue sends a powerful message to both your mind and your body that your life continues to have meaning, direction, and extraordinary value. One of the most powerful truths about growing older is that losing muscle is not an unavoidable part of aging. Many people believe weakness is simply the price of getting older, but science tells a very different story. While it is true that muscle mass naturally declines with age, researchers have discovered that much of this loss can be slowed, reduced, and in many cases partially reversed through regular movement and proper nutrition. The human body never completely loses its ability to adapt. Even in the 8th or 9th decade of life, muscles continue responding to activity by becoming stronger, more efficient, and more capable of supporting independence. Beginning around the age of 30, adults naturally lose an estimated 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade if they remain inactive. After age 60, that decline often accelerates, especially in people who spend long periods sitting or avoid physical activity. Scientists refer to this age-related muscle loss as sarcopenia. It is one of the leading contributors to falls, fractures, slower walking speed, difficulty climbing stairs, and the loss of independence. Yet sarcopenia is not caused by age alone. Inactivity plays an equally important role. This distinction is incredibly important because it means weakness is not always inevitable. Many older men assume their shrinking strength is something they simply have to accept. In reality, muscles are living tissues that constantly rebuild themselves in response to demand. Every time you challenge your muscles by standing up repeatedly from a chair, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, lifting light weights, or walking briskly, tiny signals are sent throughout your body, encouraging muscle fibers to repair, strengthen, and adapt. Researchers studying older adults have repeatedly demonstrated that resistance training remains effective well into advanced age. Men in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s have shown measurable increases in muscle strength after beginning supervised exercise programs. Some studies have reported strength improvements of more than 30% within just a few months of consistent resistance training. These improvements are not merely numbers on a chart, they translate into easier movement, better balance, greater confidence, and a lower likelihood of falling. Muscle does much more than help you lift heavy objects. It functions as one of the body's most important metabolic organs. Healthy muscles absorb glucose from the bloodstream more efficiently, helping regulate blood sugar levels and reducing strain on the pancreas. Strong muscles also support healthy circulation because every contraction helps pump blood back toward the heart. This improves oxygen delivery throughout the body, nourishing the brain, kidneys, and every other vital organ. Another remarkable benefit is improved bone health. Bones respond to gentle mechanical stress created by muscles pulling against them. When muscles become stronger, bones receive signals to maintain or increase their density. This relationship helps reduce the risk of osteoporosis and fractures, which become increasingly dangerous with advancing age. A stronger body provides better protection against injuries that could otherwise lead to long hospital stays or permanent loss of independence. Balance is another area where muscle strength makes an enormous difference. Falls remain one of the leading causes of injury among older adults worldwide. Often, a fall is not caused by poor luck alone. It results from weakened leg muscles, slower reaction times, and reduced stability. Strengthening the muscles of the legs, hips, and core improves posture and allows the body to recover more quickly when balance is challenged. Something as simple as practicing standing on one foot while holding onto a sturdy chair or performing slow chair squats can gradually improve stability over time. Walking deserves special attention because it remains one of the safest and most effective forms of exercise for many older men. A brisk daily walk strengthens the heart, activates leg muscles, improves circulation, supports healthy joints, and enhances mood. Walking outdoors also provides exposure to natural sunlight, which helps the body produce vitamin D, an essential nutrient for bone strength and immune function. Fresh air and changing scenery stimulate the brain, while reducing feelings of stress and isolation. Nutrition is equally important in preserving muscle. Exercise provides the stimulus for growth, but food supplies the building materials. Protein becomes especially valuable with age because the body's efficiency at building muscle gradually decreases. Lean poultry, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, tofu, and nuts all provide high-quality protein that supports muscle repair. Spreading protein intake throughout the day, rather than eating most of it at dinner, appears to improve muscle protein synthesis in many older adults. Healthy muscles also depend on adequate hydration. Even mild dehydration reduces muscle performance, increases fatigue, and raises the risk of cramps and dizziness. Many older adults experience a reduced sensation of thirst, making it easier to become dehydrated without realizing it. Drinking water consistently throughout the day supports circulation, joint function, temperature regulation, and physical endurance. Perhaps the most inspiring discovery in modern aging research is that the body continues listening to movement regardless of age. Every step you take, every stretch you perform, every light weight you lift, and every staircase you climb tells your muscles that they are still needed. The body responds by protecting what it uses. Strength is not reserved for youth. It is built through consistent effort, one day at a time, allowing older men to preserve mobility, confidence, resilience, and the freedom to continue living life on their own terms. The fifth surprise may be the most exciting of all because it proves that every trip to the grocery store is also an opportunity to invest in a healthier future. Many older men think medicine begins in a prescription bottle, but scientists increasingly recognize that some of the body's most powerful healing signals begin on the dinner plate. The foods you choose each day do much more than satisfy hunger. They send millions of biological messages that influence inflammation, circulation, immune defenses, brain function, and the ability of your cells to repair themselves. Your kitchen has the potential to become one of the most important places in your entire home for protecting your health. Research has shown that poor diet is one of the leading contributors to chronic diseases worldwide, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, and certain forms of cancer. At the same time, studies consistently demonstrate that improving dietary habits can lower many of these risks, even when healthy eating begins later in life. This is encouraging because it means your body continues responding positively to nutritious foods regardless of your age. Healthy aging is not about finding one miracle ingredient. It is about creating an environment inside your body where healing processes can work more effectively every single day. One of the most important targets of nutrition is inflammation. Inflammation is the body's natural defense system, helping fight infections and repair injuries. The problem arises when low-grade inflammation remains active for years. Chronic inflammation has been associated with heart disease, arthritis, memory decline, diabetes, and many other conditions that become more common with aging. Certain foods help calm this process naturally by supplying antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and beneficial plant compounds that protect cells from ongoing damage. Colorful vegetables are among the greatest allies for healthy aging. Deep green spinach, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, red peppers, carrots, tomatoes, purple cabbage, and sweet potatoes provide hundreds of naturally occurring compounds that support healthy blood vessels and immune function. Every color represents different protective nutrients. The more variety you place on your plate, the greater the diversity of beneficial compounds reaching your cells. Nutrition experts often encourage people to eat the rainbow because different colors nourish the body in different ways. Berries also deserve special attention. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries contain high levels of polyphenols, natural compounds that help protect the brain and cardiovascular system from oxidative stress. Some studies suggest that people who regularly consume berries experience slower rates of cognitive decline as they age. These fruits also provide fiber, which supports digestive health and helps maintain healthier blood sugar levels after meals. Healthy fats are another essential part of the picture. For many years, people feared all dietary fat, but researchers now understand that the type of fat matters far more than the amount alone. Foods such as walnuts, almonds, pistachios, flax seeds, chia seeds, avocados, and extra virgin olive oil provide unsaturated fats that support healthy cholesterol levels and protect blood vessels. Fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, trout, and mackerel supply omega-3 fatty acids, nutrients that help reduce inflammation and support brain and heart health. Regular fish consumption has been linked with lower rates of cardiovascular disease and may contribute to healthier cognitive aging. Protein becomes increasingly important with advancing age because muscles naturally become less responsive to protein intake over time. Every meal provides an opportunity to preserve strength by including foods such as eggs, fish, chicken, beans, lentils, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or tofu. These protein-rich foods provide amino acids that repair muscle tissue after daily activity. Combined with regular movement, adequate protein helps maintain mobility, balance, and independence. Whole grains also contribute important benefits. Oats, brown rice, quinoa, barley, and whole wheat provide fiber that nourishes beneficial bacteria living inside the digestive system. Scientists now understand that the gut microbiome plays a remarkable role in overall health. Trillions of microorganisms living in the intestines help regulate digestion, immune responses, vitamin production, and even communication between the gut and the brain. Feeding these helpful bacteria with fiber-rich foods encourages a healthier internal environment. Fermented foods such as yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi introduce beneficial microorganisms that may further support digestive and immune health. Although research continues to evolve, many studies suggest that maintaining a diverse and balanced gut microbiome contributes to healthier aging by supporting both physical and mental well-being. Hydration is another often overlooked part of nutrition. As people grow older, the sensation of thirst becomes less reliable, making dehydration more common. Even mild dehydration can reduce concentration, increase fatigue, impair circulation, and make physical activity feel more difficult. Drinking water consistently throughout the day supports every major organ system, helping transport nutrients, regulate body temperature, lubricate joints, and maintain healthy blood flow. Perhaps the greatest lesson is that no single meal determines your future. Health is built through consistency rather than perfection. Every colorful vegetable, every handful of nuts, every serving of beans, every piece of fruit, every glass of water, and every balanced meal becomes another investment in stronger cells, healthier blood vessels, sharper thinking, greater energy, and the freedom to continue enjoying life with confidence, vitality, and independence.